Welcome to Wood Newton Learning Community. My name is Glyn Rushton and I'm the principal here at Wood Newton. We acknowledge that you know your child best, and what we would like to do is build a joint picture in the middle between home and the academy in order that we get an understanding of your child in both settings. We aim to build positive relationships with both you and your child. We provide a welcoming, safe and stimulating environment where your child can enjoy learning and growing in confidence whilst they meet their potential. We will keep you informed so that you know how best to support your child. In return, we hope that you will keep us informed and support your child with activities and learning at home. You will have received a pack from the Academy. In it, you will have forms that need to be completed and returned by the first week of September. We will need to clarify some of the data on here, and to do this we will need to see your child's full birth certificate in line with GDPR regulations. In order to communicate with yourselves from the Academy, we use an electronic system called SchoolComs. You will need to sign up to this and ideally use the app. The app will give you instant access to our letters and it will allow you instant access to your child's attendance data. We have a code of conduct here at Wood Newton in order to keep everyone in our school community safe. At Wood Newton, we believe we need to give each other the space to grow, to be ourselves, and to celebrate the diversity. In particular, we focus on 2 R's. We focus on respect and responsibility. Taking respect for ourselves, for each other, and our environment. Taking responsibility for ourselves and our actions, our belongings and our environment. At Wood Newton, we expect that we will listen and will follow instructions, that we walk quietly in and around the building, that we use our hands and feet for working and playing, and that we keep our school environment clean, green and tidy. We treat others like we want to be treated, and we behave in a kind and considerate way. We think before we speak or we act. We use polite and kind words and actions. All of this within a warm, caring and supportive environment. I'm now going to hand over to Julie Medhurst, who's one of our assistant principals, who has responsibility for early years, who is going to talk to you and share our curriculum.
Hi, as Glenn said, I'm Julie and I help look after the early years in our school. I'd like to welcome you to Wood Newton. Under normal circumstances, we would be proudly showing you around our school. So this is just a little bit of an insight of what happens in our school to help you understand what your children will be experiencing when they arrive in September. I'm going to talk a little bit about the early years curriculum, which looks different from the curriculum for the rest of the school. So very young children follow the early years foundation stage curriculum, and that's underpinned by 3 characteristics of effective learning. So young children learn by being active, they learn through playing and exploring, and they learn by thinking for themselves. So in practice, this means that our children move around our environment. There will be moments where they are being taught particular skills all together as a group, and then there will be lots of opportunities through the day for children to go and experience those skills and put those skills into practice inside and outdoors in our environments. In addition to the characteristics of effective learning, we have 3 prime areas of learning. So we look at children's emotional well-being, their emotional development. This is how they make friends, how they settle, how they're feeling about themselves. And we recognise in school that actually if children aren't emotionally active and settled, then the rest of the learning won't take place. So this is a really important aspect of what we do, helping children to feel that they have a sense of belonging in Wood Newton. We also look at children's physical development, and there will be lots of opportunities for large physical movement, and then also down into the fine motor skills where children then will be using pencils and paintbrushes to develop those finer skills that they'll need in later life, where they're writing sentences and stories for you. And then we have children's communication and language skills. So we will be sharing books with children, we'll be developing their vocabulary through songs and rhymes and stories. Interactions happen with between children and adults, between children and children, and we offer a language-rich environment here to develop children's communication and language skills. We then go into what's known as the specific areas of learning, and these are the more traditional ones that you'll probably be used to. So this is reading and writing and maths, and children will have lots of opportunities to practice this in our play-based curriculum. So as I said, there will be opportunities where the staff will be working with the children to teach them those skills, and then the environment will be set up, the children will move around the environment, and they will be able to apply those skills in their learning with their friends and with the adults supporting them to make progress. I'm going to hand you over to the rest of the team now, who will explain a little bit about how the day runs and the organisation of our foundation stage, and I look forward to meeting you all properly in September. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Bristow. I'm one of the teachers in Foundation Stage 2. At the end of Foundation Stage, children are assessed against 17 early learning goals. Over the year your child is with us, we will gather evidence using observations, which go to make a profile of your child and illustrate their learning journey. For example, if your child is digging in the sandpit, we can assess their physical development. If they are working with another child and taking turns digging, then we can also assess their personal and emotional and social development because they're taking turns. If they are then talking about being a pirate and digging for buried treasure, we can assess them for using their imagination in the expressive arts and design strand. Your child's profile will also contain examples of their work, and we also love sharing achievements and experiences from home, helping us to build a complete picture of your child as the year progresses. So please send in their certificates and photos for us to share. We love being able to take photos of those, share them, and then they will be returned to you. Thank you. I shall now hand over to Liz Chow.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Chow. I work in Foundation Stage 2 one day a week, job sharing with Mrs. House. I just want to tell you a little bit about your child's day at school. Drop-off starts at 8:45 and we keep the doors open until 8:55, ready to do the register at 9 o'clock. The children then have a balance of whole class time and independent learning before they go for their lunch at 12 o'clock. Lunch lasts from 12 o'clock until 1:15, and then we go back into a balance of whole class times and independent learning times before we finish the day with a story and home time at 3:15. You drop off your child and collect your child from their classroom doors, and you're welcome to come in and settle your child in the morning. If your child is unwell and not able to come to school, then you will need to ring the school office on the morning of every day that they are absent, just using the normal school phone number, which is 01536 265 173. If your child is on medication, then we're happy to administer prescribed medications. They do need to be accompanied by a medication consent form. You can collect a form from the office and it needs to be handed to your child's class teacher along with the medication. We aren't able to take non-prescription medications like children's ibuprofen, children's Calpol. We can't administer those, so we're sorry, but unless it's prescribed by a doctor, please don't send it in. All Foundation Stage 2 children and Key Stage 1 children are entitled to a free lunch. Ours are provided through Kingswood Catering. You need to pre-order their meal at the Kingswood Catering website. Meals must be ordered online in advance either for the whole term or you can order week by week, but if you want to order week by week, you must order by the end of Wednesday before the Monday that the meals are required. So if you want the meals for next week, you need to order by this Wednesday. You are also allowed to send your child in with a packed lunch from home. We do have some guidelines about what should be in that packed lunch. So for example, we would suggest that you send your child with a sandwich or another savoury item. Please don't send something like a croissant or a sweet donut as their main. We do ask for something savoury. You might want to send a small packet of crisps, a biscuit or a cereal bar, and a piece of fruit. We also suggest that you send a drink, and actually we'd like every child to bring in a water bottle that they can keep in the classroom. This can be in addition to a drink in their lunchbox. All of the classes have their own nominated lunchtime supervisor who will supervise the children whilst they eat. If you have any concerns about what your child's eating at lunchtime, just talk to your child's class teacher. Okay, I'm going to hand over now to Mrs. Rogers, who's going to tell us about the snacks that we offer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Janice. I'm a TA in FS2. This is our snack area where the children come. They sit and they have a talk to each other every day, and then this learning skills is spreading, dipping, scooping, and then we encourage the children to try new foods, and we talk about the foods that they like and they dislike. And then when they're finished, they go over here and they independently wash their plates and their cups. We ask for a voluntary contribution of £2 a week to help us with the items for the snack. We look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you, and I'll hand over to Lucy Williams.
Hello, my name's Miss Williams, and I'm a class teacher in Foundation Stage 2 at Woodnewton, a learning community. When your child comes to Foundation Stage 2, they will be required to wear a uniform. This consists of a maroon jumper, maroon school cardigan, a white or maroon polo shirt, grey trousers, skirt or dress, and in the summer months they can wear a red school summer dress or grey shorts, along with grey, black, white socks or tights, and flat black shoes. We ask that all items of clothing are named. As you can appreciate, having 120 children and trying to match pieces of uniform up with different children is really difficult without names. You can order all of these items of clothing from our school website, woodnewtonarc.com, or from the nationwide school uniform website. They also sell our school book bags, a school fleece, a school hat, a school coat, many other items for you to purchase. If you can wait till the end of the month, school uniform orders can be delivered to school free of charge, or if you want them to come to your home address, there's a small delivery charge. We also ask that no trainers are worn at school or high-heeled shoes, and that only small stud earrings are worn and a small object of religious significance. Please, please, again, name all of these items of clothing and any other things that your child brings to school. This will enable us to keep all the belongings with that child. As you can appreciate, having no name is really hard then to match those pieces of uniform up to the child. Thank you. During your child's time in Foundation Stage 2, they will spend lots of this outside. Outdoor learning has lots of benefits for a child. It encompasses all areas of the early years foundation stage. This is the curriculum that we follow when they're in Foundation Stage 2. So therefore, we would ask that you provide some clothing so that they can go and choose outdoor learning. There's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. So if you could provide waterproof trousers, wellies, and a waterproof coat, all named, these can be left on their peg in a bag along with their spare clothes. We would ask that you provide a spare set of clothes along with pants and socks, just in case they need to change during the day. Again, please name all of these and leave them in a bag on their peg. In the summer months, we would ask that you provide sun cream and a sun hat for your child, named, and you can apply the sun cream in the morning before they come to school, and then bring them in with their hat and the bottle of sun cream, and they can apply that later on. Also in the winter months, please provide a hat, a scarf and gloves to keep your child warm. Again, please name these items of clothing and they can be left in a bag on their peg. The benefits of outdoor learning, like I said earlier, are second to none, and the sky's the limit when the child's outside. A lot of children get a lot of enjoyment and engagement out of being outside in the outdoor environment. Therefore, it's really important that they have the clothes that enable them to be able to take on this challenge of outdoor learning. There's physical challenge, smaller group challenges, places like mud kitchen, sandpit, water play, a garden area where we grow our own fruits and vegetables, maths area, and a writing and literacy area. Therefore, they need to be able to access all of these areas with the appropriate clothing. Thank you. I'm now going to hand over to Mrs. Howes.
Hello, my name's Michelle Howes and I am one of the class teachers in FS2, and I am going to tell you about reading and writing in early years. So reading and writing is something that runs throughout the whole provision. We encourage children to apply their reading and writing skills in a fun, practical way. We like for it to be indoors as well as outdoors. It could be while they are using paint, using sand, it could be while they're in a book corner, it could even be while they're building models, all round the provision. When they first start school, your child will receive a book from our reading library. This is a book that we do not expect them to be able to read independently. It is a book that we hope they can bring home with you and share, talk about the story, talk about the characters, talk about what they like and dislike about that story. It's about learning to love stories. While this is going on at the very beginning of FS2, we will start to do phonics sessions where children will begin to learn some phonics letter sounds, such as the ones that you see on the board here. We gradually build up the sounds that they can recognise, and then we start to put those sounds together to blend words. That way they will begin to also be able to decode simple sentences. Alongside learning phonics sounds, we also have what we call tricky words. These are words that don't sound like they should, and they learn those, and this enables them to be able to start to decode independently. So once they start to show that they can apply some of those skills learnt within FS2, then they might bring home a book from our reading pathway. So the book may look like this, and it will include some of the sounds that have been taught. So the child at home should feel confident enough to be able to read the story. We will also, alongside having the book, the child will also have a reading journal that they will bring home. We call this a reading ramble. And inside the reading ramble each week, it will explain to you which sounds we have been learning. It will also ask the children to practice recognising those sounds, recognising words that contain those sounds, and also some handwriting practice for that sound. And it's really, really great if you hear your child read that you also tell us about it in the reading record. We love to hear how children are doing at home, and we also can use it as a way of you communicating if you want any advice or help with hearing your child read. So what we have as well on the as well as hearing readers, we also do writing, and alongside learning the sounds. So if we learn a letter sound within that same week, we would also learn how to form that letter. We would then also, as they learn to build up words and blend them to read words, at the same time we're learning to break them apart. We call that segmenting, to be able to spell words. Those words gradually become simple sentences throughout the year. So that's what we do within the dedicated phonics, and we also have a dedicated writing session as well. But for children to truly learn successfully with reading and writing, they need to be able to apply those in their everyday activities, and that is why we feel it's so important that they learn that reading and writing has a purpose. So there will be lots of opportunities where they want to take part in an activity in FS2, and they'll have to read something. They might have to play a game that contains letters and sounds or words or sentences. It might be that to They have to sign up their name to be able to play a game. We always encourage them to try and apply those skills. We also really value the importance of children's creativity, so having a great idea when they are writing. And we do that through something called helicopter stories, which has been really successful in the past. This allows children to sit with a grown-up and tell a story. That story can be really short, it can be longer. It can have whichever characters they want to have in it. It can have real people in it that they know, or can be complete fiction. What the children love is that the adult acts as a scribe for those stories, and then they can be as creative as they like. They're not constrained by not being able to write down the words. What we find is that as the year develops and the children's writing skills become more confident, they start to take over more and more of the writing. They might start to write the initial sound first, and then it gradually builds up to writing whole words. And some of them take over, and by the summer term they're writing the whole story by themselves. So the really lovely thing about helicopter stories is that once they've written it, we give them the opportunity to share that story with their class, and they can choose children from the class to act out their story. And they love this, and this is one of the other great things about helicopter stories. And you may find once your child has started in FS2 that they tell you about the helicopter stories. Now, we appreciate that phonics may be new to lots of you, and we often hear parents say that they're unsure about how the teaching of reading works now, because it's very different to how when we went to school. So we offer in term 1 reading workshops that parents are more than welcome to attend, and that will go through how phonics works. It will look at the letters and sounds programme that we follow, and it will give you some ideas on how to support your children at home with reading. So you're more than welcome to come to that. Alongside that, this year we also ran a Reading Ready Club, which you can attend with your child, and it's to show you how reading can be done in a fun way, using games and lots of different practical materials, art materials, cooking, all different ways of helping to apply reading skills. So we look forward to you joining us in FS2 and helping your child on that journey. I would now like to talk to you about what transition will look like for your child this year. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, things are not as we would usually like them to be. So we have had to think of other ways in which we can welcome your child to our setting. We have decided that we are going to make a welcome pack for your child, which we will hopefully come and deliver to your door on Wednesday the 15th of July and Thursday the 16th of July. We'll come, knock on the door, take a step back and wave to you from afar. Hopefully you'll be there, and we might be able to just say hello to welcome you, and it will give your child a chance to see the grown-ups that they will be working closely with when they start school. Following that, we would really love it if you looked inside the pack. Inside that pack there will be a storybook for you to share together. There will also be some materials in which your child can create a piece of artwork. So maybe a collage, maybe a picture or a drawing. And we would really, really welcome that piece of artwork being brought in September. And we can display it and make your child feel part of the setting. When your child starts school, they will start first of all on a part-time basis. So on Monday the 7th of September, your child will be told which days they will be coming to school. They will either be Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday morning, or it will be Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday, all day Friday. They will come back on the week beginning the 14th of September, and they will do the same days that they attended the week before. Week beginning the 21st of September, we welcome all children full-time into the setting. We've always found that children coming part-time to start with helps to settle them into school. The reduced numbers gives us a chance to really get to know children, get to know what their likes and dislikes are. It gives them an opportunity to get to know us, to give them the confidence to explore the setting without so many children around. They get to know the expectations of the setting and they get to know what resources are there. And then by the 21st, we're all ready to go as a whole year group. So, we really look forward to seeing your children start school on Monday, the 7th of September, or Wednesday, the 9th of September. Thank you.
So, how can you help your child prepare for school in September? Please have regular positive conversations about school, about what they're going to see, who they're going to play with, and some of the things that they're going to experience. Familiarise them with their school uniform so they can recognise it and their bags. Show them where their names are on their uniform, and please support them to be able to get changed as independently as possible. And if your child is going to have a packed lunch that they're going to bring in, have a trial at home with their lunchbox so that they know how to open it and what their lunchbox looks like. Thank you. I shall now hand over to Yoringa Sakaitana.
Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Sakai, and I'm delighted to be joining the Foundation Stage 2 team at Wood Newton in September. I'm really looking forward to meet all the children and their families, to get to know you all and to begin our learning journey together. But for now, stay safe, stay well, take care, and I hope to see you all very soon.
And finally, we are sure that you will have questions that you need to ask us about your child's new start at our school. So, we have decided that we will have an inquiry box on the website within the FS2 section, and you will be able to ask any questions that you have. That will link to an FS2 Transitions email address in which we will be able to then get back to you directly and answer your questions. Questions that tend to come up a lot, we will put in a frequently asked questions section on our website, so it might be worth checking there first to see whether the questions that you have already been asked and answered. Of course, at any time, if you want to contact the school because you have a question or a concern, you are more than welcome to do so. We really look forward to your child starting in FS2 and look forward to seeing you in September. Thank you.